Cross your fingers for poor Jen. She was
Welcome
sick
home to St. Anne's.
She's feeling sick this morning. And apparently puking on you all during communion. It's just bad.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons.
I mean,
we can't
we're all
wait to
family
meet you.
and share everything, but let's not share if we could at least keep that one. All right, well, let's talk about our readings today. I'm very intrigued by our gospel today because the interaction between the folks and Jesus is very, very interesting to me because I think it's similar to how you and I often feel and engage with God and Jesus. And we say things like, well, just prove it. Like, I just need a sign. You know, God, if there were a sign, it would be easier for me to believe in you. And God was like, for reals? Like, you haven't had any? And I wonder sometimes, and so our sermon today is just a wondering sermon, okay? I invite us to wonder about why do we do that? Because I think it's a very rare human who is, if you really truly think about it, if you really truly pay attention to the world around you, cannot see God in it. You can't see the divinity in it. And yet, almost every single one of us, I defy any of us to have never had that conversation with God. Be like, I'm not sure I believe in you, but if you did this, then maybe I would believe in you, right? I mean, think about like all the powerhouses in history. In the church that I grew up in, there was a beautiful stained glass window, and it was of Charlemagne. And I only liked it because it had this beautiful horse in it. And I don't know if you know me, but I like horses. And it was this beautiful night, and he was kneeling with his sword, and the heavens were open, and this beautiful horse. Like I said, it was really the horse that I was into. But Charlemagne decided that everybody should be Christian because he killed a bunch of people and won. But, I mean, and I kind of joke about it, but we've all had that engagement with the divine, right? That I just need evidence, right? If there were just proof, then I could get on board with this. And then you get it, and you still don't. Because, like I said, I defy any of us, if we really, truly pay attention to the world around us and our own personal lives, to not have a glimpse of the divine in that. I mean, if we really can't see the divine in the world around us, we're just not paying attention. So why is it that we constantly have this conversation, right? The same conversation they're having in the gospel. We say, just tell us plainly, just prove it to us, and then we'll believe. And God and Jesus look at us and say, we have. This is a you problem. And frankly, it is. It's an us problem. Why? Why do we do that? I challenge us that the reason I think, and I can only speak for myself, but the reason I think that we struggle with it is because if we truly accepted all of this, if we truly, really, truly believed it, how different would our lives need to be? I think of Gandhi's quote, and I'm going to slaughter it, and I know I've slaughtered it to you guys before, but it goes something like this. You Christians, if I truly believed in the God that you guys talk about, I would never get off my knees from praying. Guys, if we really, truly accepted this, and I challenge that the folks in this story, they don't want to. Because it makes things different. Because Jesus challenges us to live differently. God challenges us to live differently. And if I really, truly accepted Jesus as the Christ, if I really, truly accepted what I say that God does in my life, what I say God feels towards us, how God interacts with the world? Could I live in some of the ways that our world tells us to live? Because think about how the world tells us to live. The secular message about how we should live our lives it's pretty rough. It's very self-centered. It's very focused on gathering stuff for ourselves, right? It's very focused on separating us from others. But the message of the gospel is the complete opposite. It's the message of plenty, that it's a message of gratitude. It's a message of there are no boundaries, there are no barriers between you and me and the rest of the world. And that's so foreign to how we feel. And it is so foreign to how we receive the message of how to live, right? And if you sit on my vestry, you know I'm pretty strict about money. I'm real cheap. And frankly, I think it's a pretty good way to run a church, I'll be honest. But that's not a way to live my life. And if I really, truly believe the gospel in Jesus, my life has to look differently. And I wonder if some of our hesitancy to really accept the world around us as being full of divine life and our own lives as being full of divinity. I wonder if that's because we're so uncomfortable with it, because it causes us to be different, and we're not sure that we're ready to be different. We're not sure that we can do it, because it can be scary, right? If I say I have plenty, do I have to live differently? Do I have to stop hoarding my own stuff? Do I have to start maybe saying other people need some of my stuff more than I do? That's tough. And if I really truly believe that there are no barriers between you and me and others, does that start to mean that I have to accept people that I'm not comfortable with? That I have to let them into my life in a new and different way? That I have to see the divine in them in a way that I have not really wanted to? Because there are people out there, I don't know about you, I can only speak for myself. There are people out there that I really struggle to see the divine in. But if Jesus is Jesus and God is God, then I have to be willing to enter into a sheepfold and follow Jesus in a new way. What does it really mean to be one of Jesus' sheep? What does it really mean to follow Jesus? I challenge us to wonder that. Because where am I struggling right now? We're all struggling, right? I'm not the only person struggling to be a Christian, am I? Because that would be embarrassing. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Okay. I mean, I'm used to being vulnerable with you all, but I really don't want to be the only bad Christian in the room. Because it seems bad form for the priest to be the worst Christian in the room. But, okay. I feel better. Because let's be honest, church is not a country club. It's a hospital for us, where we're all trying to figure this out, right? It is not a country club for perfect. It is a hospital for sinners, where hopefully we gather together and support each other enough that we are equipped to go out and actually live this life the rest of the time, because living this life is hard. So I wonder if I can take the time this week to ask that question. What is getting in the way of me actually hearing the shepherd? Me actually accepting that the shepherd is the shepherd? Because it's an us problem. Like Jesus said, I've said it. I told you. There have been signs. It's not like Jesus isn't doing this. Jesus is. They've seen it. They've heard it. You and I have seen it. We've heard it. And yet, time and time again, we're like, oh, I'm not quite sure I'm ready to take that step. I'm afraid. Do you ever feel afraid to be a Christian in this world? Because some of the messages about what Christians are is kind of frankly embarrassing. And you don't want to be a part of it. I'll be the first to admit that sometimes when people say Christian, I'm like, I mean like Republican Jesus or Jesus. That could get me in trouble, and I apologize. But like sometimes the message that we are being offered and told this is what it is isn't what it is. So when Jesus comes to us and says, I've told you, you've seen it, it is now time for us to follow that. And like I said, sometimes it's scary. It's why we do it together. Because there is no way you and I can do this alone. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. We have to do it as a community because when I'm struggling, you support. When you're struggling, we support. That's how this works. So, when you're tempted to say, just show me and I'll believe, try just looking.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you. Welcome home to...
Do you ever get really nervous when I'm coming around that candle? Because I feel really nervous coming around that candle. I'm like, you know what would be really, really awkward?